Hello, everyone, and welcome. We all ask ourselves those huge questions, don't we? Where do we come from? What are we doing here? Well, today we're going to dive into one of the most powerful answers to those questions, right from the Quranic story of Adam. It's a story all about creation, our ability to choose, and where we're all headed. I mean, really think about it. This question, it's been on the minds of people forever in every part of the world. The story of Adam gives us a really compelling framework, and it takes us right back to the very, very beginning of the human journey. So, where do we start? Here's the journey we're going to take together. We'll begin with our creation, literally from clay. Then we'll look at this incredible test of pride, see what happened in the garden, and then explore this whole cycle of guidance and doubt that defines so much of human history. And finally, we'll wrap up with the promise of our return. Let's get into it. All right, so our story begins not in some distant galaxy, but right here in the Earth itself. The narrative immediately grounds us in something very tangible, very humble. The Quran says that humanity was created from what's described as sounding clay of altered black smooth mud. And the key word here is teen, clay. Now, this isn't just about what we're physically made of. It's a really powerful statement about where we come from. It's a reminder of our humble, earthly roots. And what's absolutely fascinating is how the story then zooms in from that earthly origin. It lays out these stages of embryonic development, which is just incredible. It starts with a nutfa, just a simple drop, that then becomes an alaqa, a clinging clot. From there, a mudha, a lump of flesh, until bones are formed and then covered. And the final step is this amazing phrase, khalqan akhira. We're fashioned into a whole new, distinct creation. And this whole description of our development, it's capped off with this powerful verse of praise. It frames our existence not as some random biological accident, but as a deliberate, masterful act of creation. It's presented as art, really. So what's the big takeaway here? It's not just a biology lesson, it's a moral one. By constantly reminding us that we come from something as simple as clay and a single drop, the narrative is really pushing us towards humility and a deep sense of gratitude for this miracle of life. Okay, so Adam is created. What happens next? Well, we move to the next scene in this grand story. A divine command is issued, and this moment sets up a conflict that echoes through all of time. The angels are commanded to perform sujood before Adam. And we're not just talking about a simple bow or a nod of the head here. Sujood is prostration. It's a profound physical act of humility, of showing you accept a divine command. And this becomes the first great test. And right here, you see two paths emerge, crystal clear. On one side, you have the angels. They don't hesitate. They obey immediately, showing total humility. But on the other side, you have Iblis, or Satan. He flat out refuses, and he does it out of what the Quran calls istikbar, just pure arrogance. And in that single act of refusal, he becomes the first of the disbelievers. This is really the heart of the conflict, isn't it? This moment establishes these two primal forces that, according to the Quran, are always at play within us. The path of being humble and obedient versus the path of being arrogant and rebellious. So after this, Adam and his wife are placed in paradise. Imagine this place of total peace, total abundance. But there's a catch. Their stay there comes with one condition, a single boundary that defines their entire experience. Think about that. Their freedom was almost absolute. Just one rule: do not approach this tree. This one prohibition becomes the focus of their test, and it's a powerful lesson, right? That real freedom isn't about having no rules at all. It's about operating within moral boundaries. But as the story goes, Satan whispers to them, deceives them, and they slip up, they disobey. And the consequence is immediate. Their state of being changes. They're told to go down to the earth, and earth is described as a temporary home, a place to live and find provision, but only for a time. This is the beginning of the human condition as we know it. But here's the thing. The story makes it very clear that humanity isn't just left to figure things out alone. Divine guidance is sent again and again through messengers. The problem is, this guidance is often met with the same old patterns of disbelief and doubt. It's like a repeating cycle. A messenger comes with guidance, and what happens? People ridicule them. They laugh at the idea of life after death. They make excuses, oh, I would have believed if only this or that were different. Or they get caught up in envying other people instead of just listening to the message itself. And there's a really serious warning that comes with this pattern. The verses caution that if you just keep rejecting guidance over and over again, it's not without consequence. It can lead to a state that's described as the sealing of the hearts, where a person's heart can become so spiritually hard that they just can't accept the truth anymore. And this all builds to a really powerful conclusion that brings the entire story full circle, right back to where we started, our origin from the earth. The text looks at the reality of death head on, and it frames it not as this scary, random end, but as a managed transition. It's an angel put in charge of us who takes us, and it's not an endpoint. It's followed by a definite return to our Lord. And this brings us right to that core human skepticism, the challenge that people have been making for centuries. The question is asked almost with a scoff, right? Really? After we've died and we're nothing but dust and bones, you're telling me we're going to be resurrected? The Quran's answer to this, well, it's incredibly simple, but also incredibly profound. It just points right back to the beginning of the story. The argument is, look, if God could create you from dust, from a drop of fluid the first time around, why on earth would the second time, the resurrection, seem so impossible? And that's the final question the text leaves us with. It's so powerful. It ties the very beginning of our story directly to its very end. It suggests that the proof of where we came from is also the very same proof of where we are going. If you can accept the first miracle, why would you ever doubt the last?